come to the fourth chapter of the Shree Guru Charitra series. And in this, as we said earlier, the question that Namadharak asked Siddha Yogi is how did the Trinity, that is a concept of the Shree Guru, come into existence. Siddha Yogi is only too glad to give an explanation to this. So he starts from the very origin or the creation of the universe. According to him, as what Shree Guru has already mentioned, that the entire universe is the creation from the mind of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu decided to create this entire universe, which is called as a cosmic golden egg in today's Big Bang theory. He split it up into two parts comprising of the earth, that is land and water. Many creatures came into existence on both water as well as on land, and it is found that from the umbilical cord of Sri Mahavishnu, the origin of Brahma, who has four faces because he is looking into the four directions, has also come into play. Siddha Yogi continues to narrate what is written in the Bhagavatam, that Brahma has got 7 Manasputra or sons who have come from his own mental abilities. Out of these 7 Manasputra or the Saptarishi as we call them, one of the most eminent one is Atri Muni. Atri Muni gets married to Anasuya, a virtuous and a chaste woman. Anasuya should be pronounced as Anasuya itself and not Anusuya, because the word Anasuya means one who has no evil or malice towards anyone. Atri and Anasuya live in an ashram which is supposed to be in the Chitrakoot mountain somewhere near Nepal today, and the chastity of Anasuya is discussed not only on earth but even among heaven, and all the gods are finding themselves a little displaced because the elements like fire, water, they also get scared of Anasuya when she places a foot on earth or when she walks near the fire or even with rains. So you can imagine that she indirectly had a beautiful control on all the elements of earth, and all the gods felt that somehow she would displace them from their position and she would become the supreme goddess. Such was her purity, her chastity. To make themselves more stable in their positions and their insecurity to be displaced, they approached Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh and told them about the virtuosity of this woman. The three were very upset, they were very angry that such a creation called Anasuya was there on earth who had the ability to challenge the position of gods also. So they decided to put a test of her virtuosity, and they ascended on earth in the form of 3 hermits. They entered the ashram of Atri Muni when he was not at home. He had gone for his morning anushthan or ablutions, and knowing very well that he would not be coming back before noon, they called out to Anasuya and said that they were hungry, they were travelers and they wanted food. It is a custom among all of us in India that when a guest appears at your door and asks for food or water, he should never be left without it. Anasuya was no exception, obviously, and because of her chastity, her devotedness to her husband and her values, she invited the hermits inside and said that she would offer them food, and if they could wait for some time, her husband Atri Muni would be back from his anushthan. The 3 hermits were very clear in their approach towards her and said, "No, we cannot wait, we are very hungry. Serve us immediately or we will leave from the place." Knowing that turning them away from your home without food or water would be a very big sin, Anasuya requested them not to get upset. She asked them to be seated and she said she would bring them food in some time. She went inside, she prepared the food, and as she was about to bring it out to serve it to the hermits, they said, "You can serve us the food, but under one condition. We will take it only when you serve us with no clothes on." Now this was a very strange request of the 3 hermits. Anasuya initially was taken aback, but she realized by her spiritual intuitive power that these were no ordinary beings, and such a query or such a suggestion was only to put a test to her virtuosity. She went back in, meditated on her husband, and called out to him in her mental power and asked him what could be the solution for this. She realized that these three hermits had asked for food just like a child would ask food from its mother. So she prayed to her husband and said, I'm offering them food just like a mother would offer food to her children, and there is no harm in removing one's clothes if the child has to be fed. She came out with no clothes on, and as she was about to feed them, she realized that the three hermits had become three small babies. Realizing that her intuition about the genuity of these hermits was correct, she went back in, put her clothes on, and came out, picked up the babies and fed them one by one, just like a mother feeds her child milk. Just at that moment, her husband Atri entered the ashram, and he was surprised to see these three divine beings, because he also was a person who had a very great spiritual power in him. He realized that these were the three elements, that the Trinity had come to his ashram so that they could check whether his wife was as chaste and as virtuous as what the world said. He and Anasuya realized that the three children were divine incarnations, and on realizing this, the three hermits came to their original forms of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. They prostrated at the feet of Atri and Anasuya and said that we had come here to take your test, we shouldn't have done that, and we ask for pardon for it. But we ask you if you have a boon or you have a desire which we can grant. Atri Anasuya with folded hands said, the fact that you have come here as our children, we would want you to remain here as our child and continue to be parents to such a virtuous, such a highly learned scholar who is going to be the manifestation of the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. The Trinity stayed there, that is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, stayed there at the ashram with their parents Atri Anasuya for quite some time. And then Brahma said that he had to go back because he had other work of his creation. So he went and merged with the Chandralok, that is in the form of moon. Rudra, that is Shiva, went back and he played the role of Durvasa, who is always in a state of anger, as we will see in some more episodes. And the two elements merged into the third, and that is what we call as Datta, who is actually Vishnu incarnate. So Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh together, the Trinity, come as one in the manifestation of Dattatreya. Dattatreya stayed at the ashram with his parents Atri Anasuya for some time, and then he left the ashram to travel all over the universe. They say he is forever traveling and he is present everywhere, he is omnipresent, and anytime a devotee or a seeker calls out to him, he is instantly there. The chapter 4 thus tells us about the incarnation of Datta Guru. Further chapters will be telling us about the first incarnation of Dattatreya in the form of Shripad Sri Vallabh, and then we go on to the Charitra of Shri Narasingha Saraswati. Shri Gurudeva Datta.